Hello and welcome to Simulation Soccer. I'm Jiggly.
And I'm G2019.
And I believe you were on the call for the first round of games, so what did you see then?
Yeah, some really interesting matchups, and obviously the Cup is a way to give some of the teams that are a little bit lower in the standings a shot at some hardware, and we've had some surprises already thus far.
Yeah, I saw that. Absolutely. Well, I mean, we're already going into this first game, Cairo against Athênai. So, what did you see in their first game?
Yeah, Athênai won that game 2-0. Lignanen and Gorkov with the goals in that one. And really, Cairo played them tight throughout, but just that, solid positioning and solid possession by Athênai carried them in the first leg.
Yeah, and how is Athênai doing in the league standings? I didn't even pull that up.
Yeah, I believe they are in second, unless that has changed recently.
Because I believe they only recently were dealt their first loss against Hollywood. Well, we're already off. We're already started here, and Athênai do have the 2-0 lead on aggregate over Cairo, but Cairo is already starting very quickly here. Koivu here on the right side of the box. Pushes it in, and Larson almost getting on that one.
Athênai is in second place in the league on 15 points.
Torres with a header that almost goes over Anderson.
And Cairo in last place on just 5 points. So Cairo will certainly have their work cut out for them in this one, especially being down the 2 goals on aggregate.
But we're seeing that press right now. That looks really good for Cairo.
Yeah, and they have to attack the defenders and try to create chances for themselves. It's the only way they're going to stand a chance in getting back into this tie.
Larson doesn't set up for the cross. Instead, he gives it away. Gin Tonic has it for Athênai.
Good run by Minion here.
He sends it back to Yoker, who's going to send it in. At least I think he is. I've been faked out too many times on these crosses. And there's Trevor Malone with the goal. That was a cross from Silver there. Labovic set it down for Malone. There's not really much a keeper can do on that one, except maybe get to that first ball, but...
Yeah, really a nice
no,
ball,
it was saved off of Sobota.
Unlucky and an easy finish from Malone. And Cairo really needs to dig in now if they want to stay in this competition.
Absolutely. They will now need 3 goals. And I believe who is the home team in this one? Or do we have away goals?
So I was told from head office they believe we have away goals. It's something they're trying to push through towards the end of last season for this season. So that should be the tiebreaker. Should.
So then, who was the home team last time out?
Brilliant question. I normally just listen for the Olays. We get the Olays pretty much every match. So when you hear the Olays, you figure out who the home team is.
True. It sounded like we got... Oh, okay. And that's a quick answer there. As Jeeves, well, gives that answer, sends it across to Torres. And it is tied now.
Yep, and we'll say Cairo appears to be the home team here. So they will have given up 2 away goals. And they're still down 2 on aggregate.
No, that means that they've only given up 1 away goal.
Oh, correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. Yep, my mistake.
Because we heard the Olays while they were down a goal.
We did. Just football manager things.
And that is a very close shot there. But it is cleared away. Not really much happening there, but it does mean that quick counterattack here for Athênai is on the table. If they can find their way back to the center of the pitch.
Lots of space here.
And Malone sends it really far forward to Gintonic. Labovitz. Well. A ball gets cleared, and now a yellow card to an Athênai player trying to stop a counterattack. Athênai finds a lot of space here on the left wing. Trying to find someone to take that shot. Minion does, but it goes off the crossbar. Still in possession.
Some beautiful passing combination there.
Once again, Joker is free on the left side. Sends in the cross. Labovitz just pushed off, but Jeeves' header only goes out into touch, but sounds like the danger is gone. But here's some danger again as Gintonic. Okay, I guess not. As Gintonic gets taken down from his counterattack.
Pretty chaotic affair so far.
Jeeves sends the ball forward, but that's not going to get to Larson. Yes, very chaotic as just the ball keeps going back and forth now. Rainman sends it over. Mack with a shot that almost sneaks past in the near post, but Anderson is up to save.
Cairo definitely showing some fight. Not a team that's gonna lay down. We'll see if they can get anything.
That I don't understand how that pass failed so horribly, but it did. Koivu sets it up for Torres. Anderson pushes it wide. And now it's a corner kick. And one thing to watch out for right now is that Lind is a center back for Athênai, and he's already on a yellow.
Yeah, certainly that can shift the tide of a game, and we know Torres is kind of the key man for Cairo up top. We saw the goal earlier, and he's more than capable of turning a game on his head with a single touch.
And he should be more than capable of drawing another foul. And he gets another goal.
Well, look at that. Omi Nostradamus. And what a response from Cairo after going down a goal and losing the first leg 2-0. This thing's getting interesting.
Now Athênai has a chance to get their lead back up again, but not quite. That goes over the bar. As Cairo still has to score 2 more goals, but they're up 2-1 on the game, but Athênai is up 3-2 on aggregate. What do you think right now?
Yeah, Cairo, honestly, with those late pushes, looking to be up to the task. And Athênai will be hoping they can snag that next goal.
Yeah, I mean, Athênai really just has to hold them only to 1 more goal, essentially. And I think halftime might be calming this team down a bit.
We're sure going to find out.
Koivu takes it up the right wing. Battling with Joker. He gets his space. And Torres, that looked like it was going over the bar anyway, but Anderson pulls it down.
I'd be sticking 2 on Torres if I were Athênai. Send a midfielder to just shadow, and he's looking like trouble. 2 on the day already, and hungry for more.
And Salvatore takes down Joker. Is this going to be a second yellow for him? And it is!
Oof.
Salvatore is sent off. It is a midfielder, so it's possible that their formation can work without him. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to really make that sort of change in the middle of the game. I don't think the Simmer has the authority to make that sort of change in the middle of the game. But it doesn't seem like balance can be messed up too much without him.
Oh, it's always interesting when you go down a player, and especially when you need a goal. It's going to be very, very difficult for Cairo. They're going to look to potentially draw some fouls in the opponent half and take advantage of set pieces and corner kicks.
Yeah, and I mentioned Torres is back up, but he was offside. I mentioned Lind having a yellow card, but it was actually Cairo who is seeing a man sent off here in the 52nd minute. And we're getting close to the hour mark now, and they still need 2 more goals in order to get through to the next round. Ayodele working on that left side. Working to find something going on. I'm not sure if those are olays, but just like cheers that they've completed a pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I still don't honestly know for sure whose home stadium this is.
Well, Mac puts it forward to Jeeves. Jeeves holds back.
This could be trouble.
And Gintonic puts it away. And I'm not quite sure what else Cairo can do now.
Yeah, very difficult.
If they're currently the home team, then they need 3 goals. If not, they still need 3 goals.
And Cairo, doing what they have to do, they had to push numbers up, try to take advantage of a scoring opportunity, but it left them obviously susceptible on the break. And a team like Athênai is more clinical than most and will typically take care of those, just like Gintonic did here.
He's kept just barely onside by Jeeves. And, an injury. Jeeves is going to have to come off. And we're going to see how the Simmer handles this one now.
And Cairo just cannot catch a break here in this one. Sad to see. They put up a great fight. Obviously, the match isn't over yet, but really putting themselves in a tough spot.
Now, is he going to switch Amenhotep with Rainman? He should have put in Ramses, honestly. But, okay.
One of those pharaohs. Like a pharaoh, any pharaoh.
Personally, I prefer, was it Nefertiti? Yeah. Anyway, Lynn scores, and that's another one for Athênai, and they are running away with it.
Yep, icing on the cake. We're into the 74th minute, and Athênai out here just having fun at this point. The injuries combined with the red card.
I was worried about Lind getting sent off, but instead a Cairo player gets sent off, a Cairo player gets injured, and then Lind scores.
Yep.
I shouldn't be trusted for anything.
Why we all love the beautiful game. I think the focus now has to shift to, can they get Torres' hat trick?
I think the focus shifts over now to just, can they try to scrape together some honor in front of this home crowd?
Essentially.
And Larson is sent off now. What was that call?
And the wheels are just absolutely coming off for Cairo.
I don't understand what that call was.
Yeah, that didn't look too egregious. I'm not sure.
He clipped him a bit, but maybe call a foul, but it looked like that was a straight red too. It didn't say second yellow. And we're going to see how many goals Athênai can score in 15 minutes. Although that was the attacking midfielder that they got sent off, so it's mostly the offense that's absolutely been rattled. As Ligman lines it up to pass it off to Lind, who gives it away. Silver plays it through to G Fuel, whose shot is blocked by Odele. And I think that this ball is likely going to stay up. Well, it's likely going to stay in Cairo's end no matter what happens after this goal kick here. As it comes back over. Well, Cairo is trying to get something going here. But Torres is easily dispossessed. And here comes another counterattack. Well, with 2 men down, what do you think they can do? As Gentonic gets another goal. Oh, I believe it's being called offside. Yes, well offside. So what do you think they can do with these final minutes?
Mitigate the damage. Try to prevent further goals. Down 2 men now. You know, the odds of you getting something going offensively are slim to none. As we see a foul
Or you could
there.
get another man sent off. Go out in a blaze of glory, am I right? Finally, a defender gets sent off.
Our 3rd red of the day. Wow.
I believe that is now 8 men out on the pitch.
Did we see some fines from HO after this one?
Nah. Let the boys play. As G Fuel lines it up. Sent over. Honestly, there's not much to say here as we're just sort of waiting for the next Athênai goal, which surprisingly hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, the defense is kind of standing pat so far.
Well, do you think that it's like a pro for the defense or taking something off as Koivu is off the pitch? So now they're playing with 7 men. Is it less about the defense doing well, or is it more about the offense failing to convert on this?
I think it's a bit of each. I think Athênai has been a bit wasteful with the chances they've had and the options they've had available in the box, preferring to move the ball around a little too much for my liking. But credit to Cairo, obviously being outmanned and hanging in there.
Outmanned, outgunned.
Yep.
Now, when he does that, he doesn't get a yellow card.
Yeah, definitely an interesting non-card there.
No, not even that. Just he didn't get that card. And meanwhile, we saw a guy barely touch a dude and get sent off. As Gentonic takes it out wide, Silver over the bar. And that's it. They do not capitalize on the double power play. Triple power play.
Credit to Cairo for hanging in there. An obvious nightmare of a game for both player discipline and the injury. They did what they could, but unfortunately they bow out in the first round of this competition, and favored Athênai will move on to the semifinals.
But they do go out legends. They got 3 men sent off and an injury. I feel like that is something that will be discussed for a long time. Just apparently that second yellow, that second send off was a yellow card. So that's slightly better, but not at all better. As we move on to the next game, it's kind of like a lottery pick where we don't know what the next game actually is. Usually it's supposed to be straight down, but It isn't. And the next game is Hollywood versus Catalunya. Who do you think is the home team?
That's a terrific question. And if I do believe I heard a ton of Olays. Catalunya loves to play that tiki-taka possession style soccer. I do believe they were home in the last match where they managed the 1-1. So I believe it will be Hollywood at home in this one. Really interesting matchup last time in the first leg. Catalunya able to play their kind of slow and controlled style of play. Hollywood did kind of dominate possession, if I'm remembering correctly, with about 60% of the possession. And Catalunya took advantage of a golden opportunity on offense to get their one goal. That was enough and was kind of a shock result for Hollywood. So let's see if they made adjustments for this one.
Yeah, something I just noticed is that that 3-man front is spread out now. You notice that in formation there.
For which team?
For Hollywood. The legendary 3-man front is a bit spread.
Interesting. Yeah, trying to get a little more spacing instead of playing narrow and through the compact Catalunya defense.
As Juliusson. And that's called offside, but that is a massive shock early in the game, and that is not offside by much.
Yeah, this Catalunya team is playing with a lot of confidence right now, especially off that first leg. Things are coming together, and they're playing really pretty soccer. Definitely an easy team to pull for.
As Gunnarsson puts it over. Yeah, that legendary. I'm still a bit interested in why they made that decision. That legendary 3-man front that's been absolutely demolishing and overloading opposing teams. They're ditching it. They're pushing them out wide.
Yeah, different approach. I guess they maybe think that they can beat Catalunya in the air a little bit better than playing to feet.
They already play in the air with the 3-man overload. That's the thing, because you don't change it until people figure you out, and I don't think anybody truly figured them out yet. It's just a couple of teams have gotten a bit lucky at times.
Yeah, I could certainly see that.
As Taka runs forward, surging forward. Oh, just off the crossbar, but they take time to pass it around in the mouth of the goal. That's the one thing that my dad taught me not to do. As Catalunya now has it in the opposing end. McPossum rolls it into Shaka. Shaka's going to take a shot, but that's popped right up. And that'll be a pop fly out, 2 outs. Ruster steps up for the free kick. And that's not going to fool anybody. And since they had that 1-1 draw in the first leg, I mean, away goals isn't going to matter until one of them scores 2 goals.
That is correct. Dangerous in the box there.
As Hollywood tries to look for another way into that space, as Catalunya pushes them back a bit with their defensive line. Possible taken down in the box by Lorien, and that's going to be a penalty for Hollywood.
And very
Jones steps
Catalunya,
up.
You cannot afford to give a team like this any more opportunities than they're already going to get.
Oh, Jones misses off the bar. And that's going to go right out into the tunnel. And talking about giving chances, Hollywood lets Catalunya go by. As Jones' next attempt safely into the arms of Gunnarsson, and that is huge.
Absolutely. Something that honestly should be kind of a gimme. Anytime you miss a penalty, you're giving away a golden opportunity, and we'll see if it comes back to bite them.
Well, an XG calculation, that's 0.75 of a goal. You have a 75% chance to score on that play, and you didn't get it. Pop-Tart sends Fred through. Saved by Sterling. And that corner doesn't go anywhere. But the second attack is a free kick. Now we're going to see what Shaka can do.
Dangerous spot here.
And I thought that was going to be another out, but it's moved on. And it looked like Hollywood tried to get on the counterattack, but Ricky Bobby just sort of kicked it out into space and nobody really ran. And Catalunya kind of does the same exact thing. Because that's the thing with the tiki-taka style, which is that you want to look for wherever there's as little pressure as possible, and it looked like he just threw it right into pressure. As Hollywood now has a chance. Jones on the wing. Lays it off to Possible. Rashford. Passes it all the way out. And there's a whole lot less danger now. Now there is. And Jones finally gets his goal.
Absolutely beautiful build-up play. Looked like they were hanging on to the ball a little bit too long, but honestly, just looking for that perfect pass and perfect run, and they were lucky enough to find it here. Beautiful run through, great ball, easy finish, huge goal for Hollywood.
I think you see in that replay, McPossum was helping that numbers game in the box, and you see him come out to basically triple team whoever that was at the top of the box who had the ball, and that created the space for whoever it was to lay it off to Jones, get him through. And you got to think that Jones is feeling a whole lot better about himself after scoring that one, after missing that penalty.
Definitely redemption. And interestingly for Catalunya, this doesn't really change too much. They needed the goal anyway, so they now still need the goal. It just only has the potential to send them to extra time.
There's the Olays. As Rashford pulls ahead, Gunnarsson dives too soon and Rashford gets around him. And that's another goal for Hollywood, and Catalunya's got some catching up to do now.
Certainly, and a 2-2 draw here would see Catalunya through on away goals. So, they went from needing one to now needing two.
And Hollywood does look a bit like their old selves, although we're not seeing Ricky Bobby as involved as he previously was. What did you think of that first half then?
Yeah, Hollywood definitely had the better of the play. We're not seeing, the really good combo play from Catalunya, and we're not seeing them have too many advanced chances up the pitch. I think they really need to get something together here, and they need to do it soon. Otherwise, Hollywood is very likely to strike again and all but end this whole tie.
As Catalunya tries to goad Hollywood out of position, but Hollywood stands firm, takes the ball back. Vince takes down Taka. Looks like he's going to get a booking for it. And now Rossiter with a chance to lay it off to someone like Ricky Bobby, but doesn't even get over the wall. They've switched up play. Looking over to that right side, there is space over there for somebody to move onto it, but instead they pass all the way back to Sterling.
Trying to get the keeper involved. Hasn't had much to do.
Up for Jones. And that goes wide.
Really needs to do better there. You're in the center of the box. That one has to go on frame.
And I mean, carrying on my earlier point from about halftime, Ricky Bobby has not had much to do. And you're saying that they have been working on their, looks like they're trying on their aerial presence, but it looks more like these runs cutting in from the wings. We're seeing Taka and Jones being a whole lot more involved now.
Yeah, certainly. A diminishing aerial presence, surprisingly, although they were playing wider. As you said, they're making those inverted cuts, and so far they're finding themselves ahead of the Catalunya defenders more times than not.
Fred lays it off to Okamoto. Okamoto's in, and I don't know what Scott Sterling did. He defied gravity there, and he pushed the ball over the bar. I mean, gravity says you can only move so fast in that direction. I don't know if he's broken the laws of the game, but he may have broken the laws of physics as we go for another counterattack for Catalunya that's being instantly snuffed out. Rashford sends it over for Taka. As I said, that cutting run there can't slip it inside that post.
Dangerous, 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 though. We keep seeing time and time again those runners coming through and getting to those through balls. It's clear what Hollywood is looking for, and they're getting it.
Now Catalunya is trying to recover and find some way through, but once again, Hollywood is not getting out of position there, and Gerard has it on the wing. And it looks like we're finally going to see something from Ricky Bobby. Nope, goes over his head. And Jones's header straight to Gunnarsson.
And time certainly running out for Catalunya. Less than 20 minutes left. And needing 2 goals.
Fred. And the tackle in time from Jero. Jones trying to involve Bobby in some way. Okamoto sends it forward for somebody, but no one in particular. Once again, looking towards those wings. Going to try to find Bobby again, and nowhere to be found. As Catalunya tries to get a bit quick here, and yikes, that was a weird shot there, as Mac Fred is credited with a goal, but it doesn't count. I'm a bit confused by that. We're not going to get a replay. We're not going to get a replay on that. Okay. Because it looked to me like the ball was played by the defender.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Taka's shot is blocked by Stojakovic.
What I know is the finish was beautiful, and I hate that we were deprived of it.
That's what I was saying. It didn't look like a shot. It looked like it just bounced off a defender's foot and got over the man.
We're going to say he chipped the keeper.
For his sake. And yeah, it's unfortunate to say, but Ricky Bobby has been non-existent out there. And I keep mentioning that because he's the top goal scorer in the league right now, right?
I believe he still is, yes, and that just goes to show the sheer number. Number of weapons.
Different way to play that is just as lethal as that 3-man overload. As Hollywood seems content to sit back, but Catalunya takes the ball away, and Fred's just gonna try it. You know, can't fault the man.
At this point, you gotta have one.
And yeah, Hollywood. The thing is that Catalunya is trying to pull Hollywood out of position. That's what they were doing the entire match, and Hollywood refused to come out of position. Meanwhile, Catalunya has been much. Oh, Pop-Tart sneaks it through. And is this one gonna count?
And it
is. He sneaks it right through there.
Poor from Sterling there, in my opinion. But will Catalunya have a chance to get something here? And they do have a set piece.
Shaka sends it over to Stojakovic. Stojakovic puts it in the net. And that's called. Wait. Yeah, it's disallowed. He was offside.
The scenes. And unfortunate, as that would have completed a valiant comeback.
As the Olays keeps going, and as I said before, those players are being pulled out of position there. A whole lot easier than Hollywood's been pulled out of position. And the moment that Bobby finally touches the ball, well, it's over. What did you think about that one then?
Yeah, definitely a game that Hollywood deserved to win. Catalunya making a late push on a nice finish from Pop-Tart, and then the header by Stojakovic being called offside, a heartbreaker for them. We definitely would have said they would have stolen it had they gotten that one, but it always hurts to see. Congratulations to Hollywood for moving on, and Catalunya certainly fought them hard.
I think that's that specific game has to be a thesis for why adaptive tactics should find a way to do that, because the way that Hollywood was sitting back, they were waiting for Catalunya to try them with something like that. And that was unfortunate to see Catalunya ramming their head against the wall. As we're moving on to the next game, Rio against Montreal. Who do you think's the home team in this one?
I'm just going
I've used that joke twice now.
Right? Well, shoot, I will assume that Montreal was home for the first leg, where they somehow managed 4 goals past Rio.
And Rio has to have the worst sim luck in the entire league.
Yeah,
because I don't think it. I can't figure out a specific reason. Like they don't have good center backs, but it shouldn't be that bad.
I guess I don't know enough tactically to shed much light on that, but we will see what they can bring here. They have nothing to lose. They should be looking to get the ball in behind and use their speed, hopefully on the ground and not in the air, as we've seen in some prior matches. And we'll see what they can get from this one.
And we have nothing to lose but our chains, as it looks like Montreal is on the attack. Druid with a shot, and it looks like Montreal is going to try to work around Rio, who some of these players looking a bit like statues out there, not moving too much. As Fernandez's shot goes over, Rio has 4 goals to come back with. Or maybe Montreal was away in that game.
Yeah, it's certainly sounding that way, isn't it?
We don't know anymore.
We don't know anything. We're just here to talk about the
I
action.
think it's an assumption. We just talk about what is actively on screen and nothing that has happened before or will happen after.
They don't pay us enough to know stuff.
I'd say I drink and know things, but I only drink. And Montreal is working the ball in the back now, trying to find a way through, and it looks like they might have found one. And that instantly gets closed up by Mertz.
And they're more than happy to simply pass the ball around and possess in this one. No need for offense as long as they can control the ball.
And I think that I was going to say that maybe they switched their tactics up, but I think that this has been Montreal's tactic.
It really has. It's what I've certainly seen from them in the matches that I've commentated of theirs, which is why it was super interesting that they managed 4 goals in their last leg.
And Biscuit going for a long shot. Kong sends it over. Or not, a goal kick. And the issue that I'm seeing right now is that I would think that Rio is more of a pressing team, and especially playing against a team like Montreal, you don't want to sit back and let them come to you. You need to go after them as Biscuit gets him behind the defense, and that's another goal. Rio is down 5-0 in aggregate now. And this is exactly the sort of team that you don't want to sit back against, and especially the type of situation you don't want to sit back on.
Stanza just caught napping. Biscuit goes right past him, receives the ball, and silky finish. That should be about all she wrote.
And Possible kept him onside. Well, now to this point, it's like I said before, this one's about honor at this point, and Mayoy gets behind. Doesn't really have any friends here, so lays it off to Horvat. Horvat takes a long shot. That goes past the bar. And out for a goal kick. And you're seeing Montreal staying way far back there. And that may be the plan. They're trying to pull up Rio's defensive line and then get him behind, as you see there, Papadopoulos doing exactly that. Then they pull right back. Wait for them to come forward. And then cut them from behind as Biscuit, once again, gets on through. And that's a goal. Exactly what I said. And this is a nightmare matchup in terms of tactics. You don't want to end up being on the wrong end of something like this. And it's so hard to judge what another team is going to specifically do and what another team is going to specifically do in the game itself.
Certainly, and the only solace that Rio will find following this match is that this does not count towards league standings.
And because of Montreal's specific style of play here, we're not going to really be seeing very many highlights now.
I would not assume so, no. Comfortable to hang on to the ball and play safe.
But here's Rise. And that goes over the bar. And that was really the only chance so far for Rio. The only big chance. Anyway.
Yeah, really just a continued struggle from the first leg, and you talked a little bit tactically about what Montreal is doing, and kind of baiting those Rio attackers and baiting that line to come up and then trying to beat them with that quick deep ball. But again, as we've said, they don't really need to do much. They don't really need to roll the dice or play risky at all. This one's kind of on cruise control at this point.
And it's just especially unlucky that it's just sort of, this sort of thing just happens. And it's so difficult to watch and not be able to make those changes that you see. Because you can see from like the 5th minute, that exact moment you think, oh, this is what they're doing. This is something that we can do to combat that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just not able to.
Right. I would assume, especially for people who play a lot of Football Manager, that would be really frustrating because when
Like,
you're playing,
you
obviously
see-
you can make those adjustments.
Exactly. And you see them working around a high defensive line there. And you can't push them back.
Kind of like watching a train crash in slow motion.
Well, you're not on this team. Mayoy, shot is blocked. Like I said, just the team with the worst sim look in the league. Horvat takes the ball away. Mayoy's here. She's going to try to put it in. Rise gets a goal. So there's one. Now they need 5, 6 more.
Easy.
And they got 30 minutes. They can get it. That's a very quick goal, and that's the kind of goals that they need to be looking for just in general. They need to be looking to make those defensive mistakes happen for Montreal. Or at least possession mistakes from the team and the defense. And Mertz sends Mayoy forward. Now we're going to see that happen again. Rise's header goes wide.
It's been much better here in the second half from Rio.
And I think the goal is to at least win this day. That should be the goal, especially after that last game. Don't even think about aggregate score. Just try to win today. And that Rise header is blocked and possible shot goes over. But they are pushing.
Absolutely, and they've really had some good looks. I would not doubt them getting another one and tying this match up.
And as soon as we forgot about that high line attack there, we see Biscuit right up there, up against him. And Rio is leading in XG right now. Not by much, but they are leading in it. As Noodle sells it down, Rise has it and he's in. He gets him behind, but his shot is wide.
Look to take some unnecessary touches there.
I know one of those touches was to get behind the keeper, but yeah, then he took an extra one, and maybe he's just not good with his left foot.
Work that weak foot attribute.
And the thing we're seeing here is even though Montreal is holding up the ball in the back, they're passing faster than the game can recognize to press. And we see the Rio attack does look good as we see those numbers there. Those are some very good numbers for the Rio attack, but not so much for their defense, and we're seeing the defense for Montreal looks good, mostly because of the pass completion. What did you see?
Yeah, Montreal will be thrilled with the tie, especially that first leg they dominated. The second leg they did enough, and honestly, they came in not needing to do too much. So we will see how they respond in the semifinals, and congratulations to them.
And now we move on to Inter London against Tokyo, a rematch of the final from last season. Oh, wait a second. The home and away teams are actually on the screen. They're just so stylized that we didn't notice it the entire time. Inter is the home team.
Excellent. And Inter with a 2-1 win in the first leg. So they would have the 2 away goals to lean on.
And I think that that's the important thing to take away from whatever we're saying is we're both idiots. We didn't see that. We did not see the massive letters that said home and away the entire time until just now.
Try to make it all nice for us and the viewers, and we don't even look at it.
Don't need to. All I need is logos. Give me pictures.
There you go.
Tokyo's got the ball now and moving forward. Or I guess they're moving backwards. Moving a whole lot backwards. Hopefully not too far backwards. And this is another team looking to get that defensive line a bit too high up to try to get over them.
Absolutely, and they have a lot of speed up top with Owen 44, and they'll be looking for him when they can.
Desenvitz sends the ball in. That's cut out pretty easily as there's not many people in the box there for Tokyo. Tokyo works it around. Just going around town.
And London
making their way downtown.
Walking fast. London doing a good job, as they typically do, of maintaining that shape, and they are a difficult team to kind of draw out.
Definitely very strong centrally at least. Their only way through has looked to have been in those wide spaces, and now London is on the attack here as Time looks to get another chance at a cross in. Lane Kwai puts a cross in, and Clements gets on top of it and sends it in for a goal for London, but it looks like it's going to be called back. We're going to see what exactly happened here. I don't know about that one, Chief.
London's just ahead of the line, but denied.
I don't know about that
denied
one.
What would have been a third-headed goal of the tie. Just an absolute monster in the air, and Inter London finding a lot of joy this season in sending balls out wide and getting them crossed in on his noggin. They'll be looking to do more of that.
And Bud Light looks to... Okay, I guess he's not going to need to be taken off there, but he was down for a bit. Time and Lan Kwai on the wings again. That's going to go out. And we've seen a whole lot more movement up that London left wing. We've seen a lot of movement throughout the season on that left wing for London.
Yeah, definitely left wing. We see Time getting a lot of touches. They do utilize that right wing very well too with Nessie. And last tie was the story of Nessie sending in crosses to Clements, with Clements' 2 headers accounting for the scoring for Inter.
Well, there's Clements again, but this one's with his foot, and this one's going to stand. A goal for Inter London.
And really some nice passing there and a smooth finish from Clements, who is just absolutely on fire right now.
It seems like Tokyo listened to me a bit too much about how much that left wing works for London, as they sent almost their entire side over to that left side, and you see that. Clements is barely onside that time. And I do believe that it was mentioned that there are fallible officials here. They can be wrong. It is okay to say the officials are wrong. They may be in the computer, but they're computers that are told to not be computers. Frightening, honestly. As that header goes over the bar. London very much in control right now with a 3-1 lead on aggregate. Looking to come up this right wing now. Clements getting onto it. Let's see if he gets another one in. Angle is cut down way too hard. It's going to be out for a corner kick, but Clements can still get on the end of this one. And you know what? That was going right to him, but Rupp gets in front of it. Sends it away. Soderberg out wide for Tokyo. Puts it in. And Isagi's shot is going to be saved by Yeboah. And what did you think of that first half? We saw 2 big chances, but we've only got like 4 shots on target there for London.
Yeah, London will be comfortable. You know, as I alluded to before, Tokyo is probing and really looking for a perfect ball to create opportunities, and Inter is just happy to let them pass that ball around as long as they're not in a dangerous zone.
And here we kick off the second half. London's on the ball, taking it up the right wing. Nessie again, trying to send Clements through again, but Versetti is on the end of that one instead. And we haven't seen much from Tokyo since that early going, where they had a lot of possession but couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, the best chance they had was certainly towards the end of the half with that point-blank header that Inter was able to save.
Soderberg sends 44 through, and 44 puts it in the back of the net, but they're going to need a whole lot more than that in order to do something. And that was the exact situation that we were talking about, with 44 using that speed to blow past the defensive line.
Absolutely, and with one more goal here, Tokyo would tie things up on aggregate and away goals.
You can see penalties again between these two teams.
Don't remind me.
Isagi puts it in for Siege. That is a corner kick. I almost thought that they were about to call offside.
As did I.
And nothing much happens there. Soderberg, wake up. Wake up, bud. Lang Kwai takes the ball. Not quite the counterattack that I was expecting to happen, but still an unfortunate giveaway. An unforced error in Lang Kwai's header is saved by Nudazuki. Rupp was trying to send it into his own net, but was stopped by his goalkeeper. And it looks like the Tokyo defense is turning on itself. Siege puts it to 44, but I believe he was offside. Yep, and there goes the flag. Well, there was a flag, but they didn't stop the play for some reason. But here's Tokyo on a corner kick. It's the 74th minute now. Still plenty of time left to get that equalizer, or I guess the go-ahead goal in this specific match.
Certainly, and Tokyo has looked much more assertive on the offensive end here in the second half, knowing that they do need one more goal.
You know, Tokyo is a weird team. They appear to show up whenever they feel the pressure. Desenvitz puts it over to 44. That's pulled down by Yeboah. You know, I talk about a team like in MLS, the Portland Timbers, where there's a playoff Portland and a regular season Portland. And we see that in Tokyo, which is regular season Tokyo in the league. They don't really do much. But when it comes down to knockout round, you cannot put Tokyo out of it. And there's another. That's going to get cleared away, but it's not going to be cleared out of their own end as Goat gets to it. Clemens has it now, though. He's pulling away, trying to find something. Goat gets to him again with another tackle. We're up trying to send it forward, but nobody there to gather it. There's still 2 minutes here in injury time. And London's looking for, and there it is. The game winner for Jack O'Connor, both in this game, and this is the one that will have to send them through on aggregate.
Really a great finish. Found he had some space. Top of the 18. Let it fly, why not? Beautiful by O'Connor.
Rupp going in to close him down and not really doing anything to do that. And it looks like this one might be over. Is it over? Looking to the official now. And it is over. Inter London wins this game 2-1. They win the tie 4-2 on aggregate. And playoff Tokyo is out. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, you know, Tokyo showed up in the second half, but unfortunately it was a little bit too little too late combined with what had happened to them over that first leg.
And so what did you think about this round as a whole?
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting. If you look at the current league standings, the top 4 teams are the ones that advanced. So it's pretty much run as chalk so far, with, you know, Hollywood leading the league, Athênai in second, Inter London just a point behind them in third, and Montreal in fourth. The 4 favorite.
You're cutting out there for a second there.
Oh, sorry. I was saying all of the favored teams went through.
All right. So that is going to be it for us today. I'm Jiggly.
I'm G2019.
Thank you for listening.